Confidence is quiet. Insecurity is loud. And this article tells us that quiet confidence is the silent assuredness in yourself, your skills, and your knowledge. It means quieting your ego and not feeling the need for any external validation. It's being chill about yourself. Do you need a dose, a boost of confidence, even quiet confidence? We're going to get into that today in the free podcast as we continue on this transformation series. And if you look in the description at my website, nurseann.com, there's a link to all the podcasts in the transformation series. We also finished the legacy series because your legacy isn't just for the future, it's about now as you go. And I believe, and you might agree, that leaving a legacy, making an impact starts with self-transformation and also developing that quiet confidence, making an impact, splashing impactful transformation as you go. So at the website, there's so much inspirational wellness for you, for your mind, body, and spirit, because you know they work together in synergy. And it's just also to help you break out of mental battles, break out of boxes of limitations. I want that for you. And today we're going to dig into that in the transformation series and get more into confidence, that quiet confidence. We're going to have some media, some scripture, some bonus content from my published devotionals. And at the end, as you know, there's always a prize at the end that you'll get to ride along with the frontline workers rescuing those in crisis of mental, physical, and spiritual. I am Nurse Ann. I'm a certified emergency and mental health registered nurse on the front lines for many years and still going. So let's jump into having more quiet confidence. Let's do some articles of scripture and we'll get on to the bonus content and the prize. So the first article is from Jet Quinn, and it's called The Quiet Confidence Playbook: How to Have Chill Confidence. And they start off saying that they like modesty. There's a certain comfort that comes with humility and staying low key with stuff. It can take on quiet confidence and how to have it. Being covertly confident means letting your actions and results speak for themselves. It seems more passive, but in their opinion, it looks better. Quiet confidence is when you internally know some truth about yourself and feel no need to prove it to anyone else. It's patience mixed with modesty, and it feels good. So quiet confidence, once again, is silent assuredness in yourself, your skills, your knowledge. It means quieting your ego, not feeling the need for any external validation, being chill about yourself. It's modesty for your skills, talents, and self. But it's important that you maintain confidence also because too much modesty isn't good either. And they give us 8 signs of quiet confidence. Number 1, patience and calmness. Number 2, a welcoming attitude to setbacks or failures. Number 3, an optimistic and happy outlook. Number 4, not boasting about your accomplishments. Number 5, not comparing yourself to others. Number 6, a growth mindset. And I do have a lot of videos and podcasts about your growth and your transformation, your emotional resilience and your emotional intelligence. Check those out. There's a link at the website. Number 7, a willingness to take risks and try new things. Number 8, independence. And the power of quiet confidence, they give 8 benefits. People will trust you and your expertise more. Number 2, you're less likely to speak too soon or need to retract statements. Number 3, people will be more naturally curious about you. Number 4, less stress and anxiety. Do you want less stress and anxiety? I have a lot of videos about that also. Number 5, higher emotional intelligence. Lots of videos about that at my website. Number 6, more externally aware. Number 7, a strong proclivity for growth. And 8, quiet confidence just looks more attractive. How to have quiet confidence. And they give us 6 tips. And as I said, this is from the Jet Quinn site. Are you ready to quietly exude confidence? And here's what they do. Before we get into that, everyone get a drink of water. It's your Nurse Ann health tip. Drink lots of water. It's even healthy for your cells. Do you want healthy cells? Do you? So number 1, focus on skill building, not praise. Looking for outside approval or validation is rarely helpful. The first tip is simple. Stop just looking for praise and focus on building your skills and your own personal happiness. And I'm going to add also working on building your quiet relationship with God. Having that intimacy, that prayer time, that introspection will help show you the way to have that quiet confidence in God's love and ability in relationship with you and exude that. And looking for praise or approval is one of the biggest signs of a lack of confidence. But of course, it's normal. It's okay to feel this way. We're all human. But becoming aware is step 1. Step 2 is taking action. An efficient way to build quiet confidence, any confidence, is to build your skill set. So working on your life skills, hobbies, goals, passions. When you focus on something, anything, for a long period of time and you put in the work, you get good at it. You become confident and competent in it. It becomes a feedback loop of confidence and competence. Just creating that loop, focusing on your skills and expertise. Ignore the praise, ignore the hate, and everything in between. Quiet confidence lives here. Number 2, do more and talk less. That one's hard because talking about and sharing what we're doing is addictive and enticing. But it's all too easy to talk too much and not do enough. Because sharing some grandiose plan or goal is a cheap hit of dopamine. There's initial praise and interest from your friends and family, sure, feels good, but it's cheap and it's easy and it doesn't require having actually done anything towards the goal yet. Number 3, have a clear purpose. Purpose guides us. Purpose drives us. Have that purpose-driven life. And once again, that quiet time with God, He'll lead you in the directions of your purpose in life. A good purpose is often rooted in our personal values. Some of them could be creativity, authenticity, and autonomy. And I even have a video about your authenticity. Your authenticity is beautiful. And that gives you a shot of energy and a sense of calm confidence. So what are your values and core goals of yours? Do your actions and behaviors and habits support these things? Often our level of quiet confidence hinges on considering some simple questions. Number 4, be intentional and decisive. Knowing exactly what you want is step 1. Knowing how you're going to work towards it and having a clear action plan is step 2. It makes you look intentional and boosts the likelihood of reaching your goals, which also becomes more of a feedback loop for your confidence. If you're looking to quieten an ego, isolate exactly what it is you want, make a plan for getting it, and be decisive. Keep your head down and don't look or care about results, metrics, or approval. Sooner or later, results will start to trickle out, often in the form of humility, expertise, and quiet confidence. Do what makes you happy. Number 5, listen more and celebrate others before yourself, shining a light on other people. Listening more than speaking, celebrating people's success, ideas, or hard work before your own, and that resonates with others. Listening and boosting others before yourself also supports more humility and patience. And while you're listening, it means you're quiet. Number 6, travel more. It makes you more confident, and it's also fun. Traveling is a one-way ticket to more quiet confidence. Broadening your perspectives, patience, and understanding of the world and different cultures is powerful stuff. Later, quiet confidence is a chill assuredness in yourself and your skills and knowledge. It's modesty with just the right amount of confidence. It's powerful stuff, and nothing looks quite as confident as letting your actions speak for yourselves. Listening more. And the next article is by HuffPost, Why Confidence is Quiet and Insecurity is Loud. And they start off the article talking about when someone has done something to us, and a lot of times we think about getting revenge or paybacks and struggling with that vengeance and wanting to scream back or argue back with people. But later we can feel like a fool from doing that. And it's good to step back and look at the bigger picture. Because when we do that, it lowers our values. We're blinded by anger and revenge. And later we're embarrassed that we've been reactive instead of reasonable. We might even feel worse than before, wishing we hadn't let our need for revenge hijack our normally compassionate hearts. Perhaps we've taught ourselves on our good days to be open, mindful, even meditated, yet sometimes we lose our best selves, especially when we're hurt. So we learn that getting loud with retaliation doesn't make the other person see things our way. No, it actually validates that we're more like them, noisy, insecure, and low-minded. That's not the goal our souls are aiming for. Not if we're seeking for a higher consciousness, peace, and happiness, that is. So digest before you react again. Another person's bad behaviors are about them, not you. About their insecurities, beliefs, and history beyond your control. What you need to know about your own behaviors. Confidence is quiet, insecurity is loud. Am I going to respond loudly? Are you going to respond loudly, fighting on the field, or react quietly, stepping calmly to the side? By turning in an unexpected direction and coolly pulling yourself from the game, you choose to take your heart out of the firing range. You raise the vibration of your soul. Your heart breathes a sigh of relief. You confidently refuse to take on the other person's issues as your own. You don't engage as an opponent. You choose your way back to sanity and away from trying to correct someone else's actions, again, because you can't. So it's up to you. You might be staring down someone else's face mask at this very moment, or getting called into your opponent's field tomorrow. What are you going to do? Are your steps to move loudly toward conflict or quietly away from it? If you hurt them right back, it only makes you just like them. So stand up, turn around, exit the field. Let your quiet confidence speak the loudest about who you really are. Your soul's crowd will go wild. And that's from HuffPost about confidence is quiet, insecurity is loud. So we're going to jump into some of the verses about quietness, and then we'll get into the bonus content and then the prize. We're almost there. Hang on, we're almost there. And one of the verses that I like is from Proverbs 15:1, and it says, a soft, gentle, or quiet answer turns away people's wrath and anger. So just like the article that we just were looking at, what do you feel like when people are trying to draw you into arguments, pull you into getting you all riled up and loud? As I said in Proverbs 15:1, it reminds us that a soft and gentle reply, even when someone's angry and loud, can calm the situation. And 1 Thessalonians 4:11 reminds us to aspire to live quiet lives work with our hands. And I just actually, one of my podcasts a couple back is about having that quiet life. In 1 Peter 3:4, let the adorning be the hidden person of the heart with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious. In Psalm 46:10, be still and know that he is God. And James 1:19 is good too. Know this, that every person could be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. This is a good one. We're going to end the verses with this. Proverbs 17:28, even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his mouth is deemed intelligent. So, of course, we don't want to look like a fool or sound like a fool. So we want to think more about that life of quiet confidence. So let's jump into the bonus content. I'm going to show you quick excerpts from my published devotionals. Then we'll jump on to the prize so you can ride along in that action-packed fictional drama, a quick chapter. My latest is your Everyday Legacy Poetry Devotional to splash impactful transformation as you go. As I said, your life legacy isn't just for the future, but everyday encounters. And the first part about that is having life transformation. We have to do that introspection, that prayer, that soul searching to get to the root of what's going on in our lives in the past, the current, so that we can work on that. And there's a lot of inspirational tips in here, life hacks, and so much more, just figuring out. And some of the chapters in here, your legacy of transformation, impact, kindness, integrity, advocacy, wisdom, helping others win. Leadership by example and service. Peacemaker with boundaries, authenticity. There's a lot more, but I'm going to let you check that out, the website, your Everyday Legacy Poetry Devotional. And then there's the Ignite Life Poetry Devotional to As You Go, Dare to Inspire and Bless Everyone in Your Life. And this is a lot of life stories and struggles that people go through, along with a poem, a devotional, and inspiration. And then the Mental Healing Poetry Devotional. Who doesn't need mental healing? We all do every day. Sometimes we don't even realize it. And one of my poems in here is called Quietness, because there's noise and clamor versus calmness and silence. And there's always a battle raging between the two. I'm going to let you hear the rest of that. And there's a link for the Mental Healing Poetry Devotional by Nurse Ann. And there's Inspiration Battles, Devotional Biblical Medicine for Real Life, because there is soul searching in here with a dose of encouragement. You know, the battle to stay inspired can seem overwhelming at times. And there's also an excerpt in here also called Quietness, because you know noise is everywhere. And groups can clamor for having the next word. Drivers can angrily honk as they whiz by. Before we realize that our lives can be an endless stream of duties and silence. What can we hear in the silence? Does that seem like an odd question, or can you envision having space to hear softly chirping birds, gentle lapping waves, or perhaps the soft but audible whisper of heavenly guidance, being led to still waters, walking in ways of gentleness will only lead to refreshing and inspiration. There's more there too, but I'll let you check that out at the Inspiration Battles Devotional by Nurse Ann, link at the website. Also my Word Puzzles Devotional. And I also have one in here called Malacaphonous. This is different, unique, and interesting words linked to everyday life and thought struggles and verses and inspiration. But that word means a soft or gentle voice. Yelling and anger saturate the world. You can be just about anywhere, witness a display of impatient and flaring tempers. And there's a book in here that I reference by Dr. Stanley, Surviving in an Angry World. I'm an emergency and mental health nurse on the front lines for many years and still going. And I don't think I could have survived this long without even the practice of that verse that we talked about in Proverbs 15:1. When we reply with a soft answer, it can help soothe the atmosphere of animosity. On the other hand, we're reminded that harsh words given in return will add fuel to the fire of fury. So more practical wisdom from a guidebook for living. One more drink of water for now. And then I have another one, Energize Health, Body, Mind, and Spirit. As I said, our body, mind, and spirit work together in synergy. There's a lot of life and spiritual tips in there too. So now, as I promised, we're going to jump onto the bonus and the prize, and then I'm going to let you go. Have a good day, a good evening, or on to your next podcast or whatever you have to do. So this is a 6-part fictional drama series, as I've told you, that I created in my free time as a busy nurse on the front lines of mental health and emergency. And each story highlights a couple different emergency and mental health struggles in our own life, struggles in the lives of others, struggles on the front line of emergency and mental health. Also highlights families, the church, the community, and so much more. But to make it cheaper and easier, since it is interconnected as all, it eventually, there are 6 stories of different episodes. It's like a different episodes, but it's all interconnected with the frontline workers. Drama even connects some of the characters. So to make it almost free and easier, I put it in one book. It's the first 6 Mental Files, first 6 stories edition by Nurse Ann, where you get to ride along with the frontline workers, rescuing those in crisis of mental, physical, and spiritual. And these shifts are 24/7. And this compelling ride is filled with danger, action, suspense, romance, faith, and inspiration. And guess what? Before I read that chapter, you know what? I also, to make it easier for you, I had it made, and more exciting, I had it made into an audiobook by Nurse Ann, narrated by Drama Simpson. He brought this to life with action noises, siren noises, different characters. You're going to feel like you're right there in the action with the frontline workers. The Mental Files First 6 Stories edition, Audible and iTunes by Nurse Ann, narrated by Drama Simpson. Check that out on Audible and iTunes. Now, let's jump into the chapter for today. We've already finished book 1, which was the Mental Files Sheep Among Wolves. Book 2 was Dr. John Doe. We just finished book 3, which is A Tent Under the Bridge. In this, we talk a lot about homelessness, and the others we talk about dementia, Alzheimer's. We've talked about mind battles, hallucinations, people struggling and fending for themselves on the street. Now we're in Defenders of the Week. We get into people being bullied and anxiety. Then we'll get into Ready, Willing, and Able. We talk about the spectrum and disabilities, autism, just different how people can be the actual superheroes in situations. And the season finale is Out of Control. We'll talk about relapse, addiction, entitled people, and the culmination of a big relationship. And the reason I call it a season finale, because with your help, it's going to be a television drama series one day. So let's now jump into, we're in the Mental Files Defenders of the Week, and we are in chapter 14. And if you go to the nurseann.com website, you can see it in the description, nurseann.com, that's Ann with an E. There's a podcast tab and a Patreon tab. You can see them all in order from the very beginning of all these books. Or you can just also join the book club, ride along in the book club, and listen to the exciting action-packed audiobook. So, chapter 14 is called Meltdown. When Robert Davis and his wife pulled into their driveway, they noticed an EMS truck parked in front of their house. Gasping in horror, his wife ran into the house first. "Tracy, what's wrong?" she cried as she saw her daughter being strapped onto the gurney. "Where are you taking my daughter?" demanded her father. "Sir, we have to have permission to give out your daughter's information," relayed the paramedic as he started to roll out the door. "Tracy, what's going on?" pleaded her mother. "You guys just don't get it. I can't take this anymore. You're such a hypocrite, Dad. I'm tired of trying to jump through your hoops." "That's right. I called the crisis number. I'm having a meltdown, and it's all your fault." As the EMS crew loaded his daughter onto the truck and drove off, Robert and his wife jumped into the car to follow them. "I knew it," Robert cried. That Jonathan is ruining everything now that he has those hoodlums influencing my daughter somehow. Hanging her head down, Mrs. Davis started to weep as they drove to the emergency room. And the next chapter is chapter 15, My Daughter's Not Crazy. I will see you at the next NurseAnn.com podcast for your inspirational wellness, along with this action, adventure, advocacy, and awareness. Follow, like, share, leave your comments. See you over there.